Isn't that beautiful? Check out that Ferris wheel. All right, 16 degrees for your Wednesday. If you're traveling overseas, you'll see partly cloudy skies. Have a great trip. Look at that. That is incredible video. You can just hear the noise and how fast that water is moving. That's a good note to all of us. Small children, animals, do not have anybody wandering around, riverbanks at this time of year, because you do have fast moving water. Of course, flooding is widespread through Ontario at this point. And let's take a look here at the watches and the warnings we have going on. We have freezing rain warnings through La Tuque. You can see the Gatineau region also looking at it. That's the pink. The green is rainfall warnings, so just east of Quebec City. And we're going to go to the rain amounts, because some areas would see heavy rain. St. John, 25 to 35 millimeters of rain. Down through the southern shores of Nova Scotia, not as much, 15 to 25 mil. All because of this system. Warm front extends way up to the north, mild temperatures, but heavy rain along that cool front and no sunshine. Where we are seeing a little bit of sun is out west. Here's Margot. Thanks, Margot. The only areas that we're going to see a little peak of sunshine will be southeastern Alberta and southwestern Saskatchewan. Regina, you'll be up to about 2 degrees tomorrow. Edmonton looking at a dusting of snow through Wednesday. This is what we call upsloping, so we could see some heavier amounts into the higher elevations. About 15 centimeters is possible. BC coast, you're up for some more rain for the next few days. Well, not quite RV weather in Canada yet, but getting there, but not this week. You're looking at chilly temperatures, cold in the prairies, so maybe you're going down south. If you are, you're looking at cold conditions all the way down towards the east, and we're watching a developing low in and around the Four Corners states. Snow just north of there. Breezy conditions up through Montana. If you're crossing along the international border, maybe going out west. Fair conditions by Thursday, and temperatures start to rebound in much of eastern Canada as well. Have a nice trip. The weather. Thanks for spending some time with us on this Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. You might remember in eastern Canada, especially Ontario, into Quebec, we were into the 20s a couple days ago. Well, this is what that kind of heat can do down in the southeast of the U.S. This is in Oklahoma. This is a rotating storm. You can see possibly some hail in the center of it. Storm chasers were out chasing quite a bit on Sunday with an active cold front that worked its way through. I wanted to highlight this radar shot because I was actually tracking this on radar at home on my Sunday. That's when you know you're a weather nerd. And this was what we call a velocity couplet, and that's showing inbound and outbound winds toward or away from the radar. And we saw rotation, and then sure enough, that's what we saw on Twitter instantaneously by Johnny Kelly. Said developing no damage or injuries, but a brief tornado touchdown south of Bray, Oklahoma. So why I wanted to show you this is because if you look at our morning temperatures, you'd think, how can we get tornadoes to form when we have cold temperatures like this? All the way down into the Gulf states, it's below zero. In fact, it's the coldest it's been this late in the season on record. So we're going to go to Mark Robinson now, my storm chasing partner, also known as my storm chaser husband, and I'm road wife. Mark, tell us, you've seen this before, but does this pattern sort of intimidate you? And we're going away in 3 or 4 weeks. What could we expect?
You know what? If you remember last year, we actually started off, and it was quite cold. I remember it being halfway down to Tornado Alley in St. Louis, and it was still quite cold.
I remember that too.
I mean, right now you can see me. I'm sitting here shivering. I don't think I'm wearing enough because we're right in the middle of that air mass. Now,
so we're looking for the return of heat, the return of moisture, and then you're hoping for some more storms. And I think it looks pretty favorable in the next few weeks.
Yeah, you know what? I just took a quick look at the long-range forecast, and if you look on one of your maps, you can actually see that moisture return coming back up on the western side of Texas, and that's good. And the pattern is definitely looking progressive. So Tornado Alley, here we come very soon.
Here we come. That's right, 4 weeks. All right, thanks for your analysis, Mark. And yeah, by the way, Wednesday at 7 and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we're airing Storm Hunters Witnessing Nature's Fury from last year. You don't want to miss that.
For your...
Well, depending on what time of year it is, what season we're in, can certainly dictate what type of precipitation we see with various storms. But this is a typical track of a low-pressure system moving into the Great Lakes region, off to the East Coast, and plenty of moisture associated with it. How do we come up with these names of these storms? You've probably heard them. The Alberta Clipper? Well, it has to do with where they originate from. So the Alberta Clipper starts as Pacific moisture interacting with Arctic air. It takes a trajectory sort of like this through the Great Lakes, Colorado low forms in the lee of the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, tracks east-northeast through the Great Lakes. A panhandle hook actually can bring snow as far down as Texas, and it kind of moves like that. And you can see why they call it a hook. And a nor'easter, which is very common in the winter, Atlantic Canada often gets storms as that storm or that low tracks up to the eastern parts of Canada.